Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Ogbonle and you have seen me in the previous video and I explained about how we're going to be going through the full stack development in the last video. So in today's class, I'm going to be explaining how the browser, the Visual Studio Code is going to function properly, and to crown it all, I'm going to explain the basic structure of HTML. Firstly, I'm going to actually tell you to create a folder. By creating a folder here in this aspect, I'm going to create a folder on my desktop and I'm going to name this folder folks here. So let me create a folder on my document. I'm going to create a folder and I call the folder folks. So after I have this folder, why I'm creating this folder is for me to have all of my files to be very useful. So I said in the last class that we're going to be making use of Visual Studio Code, we're going to be making use of a browser. Either you make use of Edge, either you make use of Google Chrome, or you make use of any other browser you have on your system. So now that I'm going to be making use of just two different ones. I'm going to be making use of the Visual Studio Code for my developer area, and I'm going to be making use of Chrome for all what I've coded on my Visual Studio Code to see the output. So now I'm going to go by opening the folder I created, which is the Folks Technologies I created in my document. So creating this, I'm going to look for I think I did it in Folks in the notes, and I open this folder. Opening this folder now, I'm going to create, this is the workspace initially we have. I'm going to trust this. This is the workspace we have for our developer tool. So this particular thing now, it warrants us to create a file inside this folder I have created. Mind you, I created the folder to actually have all of our files to be in one space. So after I have this, I'm still going to explain and show you how you make use of the browser and how it actually functions. So after I have this, I'm going to create a file within this place. How do I create a file? There's two ways of creating a file, but I'll just show you. Just create a new file by selecting this, and I'm going to write index.html. Then when I've created a new file, it's going to take me directly to this place. And when I have this aspect, I can easily have my workspace, and this workspace I'm having is where I write in all my HTML elements. What are the HTML elements? Let me explain what the HTML basic structure is. What are the basic structure? I'm going to use a shortcut to write all of my code. So this is all about it. Let me take this out. Sorry, let me take this out. I'll take this out. So now, this particular thing, I'm going to explain how all about these things function. The DOCTYPE here we see at the first instance is more like, let me create a writing tool so you get to see what I'm saying. Index.nd. So this index.nd, we have what we call the HTML tags. So these HTML tags forced to be in two ways. What are the two ways? We have the self-closing tag. What is the self-closing tag? For instance, we have the self-closing tags to be just you writing tag in between, and we have the closable tags. And this happens to be the one you actually have the tag written, and you have an information written in between, and you have it to be this slash tag. Why is this very important? This closable and self-closing tag, how are they different? What makes them unique? The uniqueness there is in the self-closing tags, we don't make use of as a beginner, we don't make use of a slash here because of it is used within a word. Let me give you an instance in generally what we actually come across with. For instance, if I'm having to make use of a quotation mark, I can say something like this: that, for instance, that. And I can have here and I say something like that, that, and I use this one is. If you look at this thing, this is actually the same but different. This is a closable. It is very necessary. This is more like you are indicating that this is a you are quoting a particular word. But in the other aspect, this shows that you are referring to somebody, just like you are making an example of what I'm saying. So that is how it works. So if you understand what I mean there, this is how the closable and the self-closing tag actually function. So coming back to this place, the doc type here, you will notice that it is not closable, it is a self-closing. What the exclamation doc type means? It means that you are indicating and telling everybody that this is an HTML5 document and you are working on HTML5. So the other one we have is the HTML, which is the closable tag. The HTML that is the closable tag, it shows that every content we're having is going to be within the HTML. And we have the head. The head is going to show that we have the title of what we are working on, what the web page we are on. That's why the head only holds the title tag. And within the body holds wherever you put your images, you put your text and every other things there. So I want you to stay tuned and follow up on the next class. Like, subscribe, and follow for more.